Hello everyone and welcome to Redesign with Prima YouTube channel. My name is Vilma. I'm a brand ambassador for them. Today we're gonna use different products from Redesign with Prima, so stay with me. After I sanded off the prior paint, remove the dust, and then I am starting to paint all these small chests of drawers, and I'm using the color lavender case from Fusion Mineral Paint, and I will be doing 2 coats. Let's create some dimension by adding deep brown glaze with a cheap brush and natural bristles. I'm using the wax brush number 2 also from Redesign with Prima, and circular movements to blend the glaze. For our design, I'm using the stencil name Calculations, using as a medium chalk paste in Desert Rose, and a silicone brush number 2, which is perfect to apply any paste or any gel or gesso. You don't need too much product to apply, and this chalk paste, besides it smells so good, is smooth, creamy, and will create a beautiful effect on your projects. Notice I'm removing the stencil by pulling out from opposite corners in one quick movement to avoid any chalk paste smear. I will be doing this same process to 4 drawers. Now let's start by adding some gauze stripes to the sides for our background. Using painter's tape and attaching stripes to the chest, I will be using also chalk paste now in 2 colors, and this time with 1-inch wax brush. And starting by dabbing from the bottom and with a small amount of my first color of chalk paste, Dusty Plum, as you can see on video. Now I'm using my second shade, Desert Rose, for the rest of the stripes. And ending by removing all the tape. Now I'm changing my first design plan. This happens sometimes, and it's okay, by changing things. I'm painting the remaining drawers with the white paint to apply a decoupage tissue paper. By painting with a light color like white under your decoupage paper will allow the design to pop in your project. Now it's time to apply our decoupage tissue paper. This one is beautiful, one of my favorites now, and it names Timeless Blooms, and it's a sheet of 19.5 inches by 30 inches. I will be using decoupage gel shine, but you can also choose a matte gel. And let me mention that this gel is also waterproof when it dries. That's why you should use gloves when you're using this gel. I'm using a small brush to apply a decent amount of it. Then placing my paper and cutting the sides with a cutter. You can also use a sand or scissors, and ending by applying another layer of our decoupage gel. I will be doing the same process to the remaining drawers. Here I'm using a plastic kitchen grab for a better application and to avoid any bubbles on the paper. Now I will be doing some molds to attach to our chest. This decor mold is called Blooming Banners, and I will be using Mica Powders to paint the molds directly prior to pour my resin. I will be using different colors and I will be sharing them in description. This decor mold is beautiful and is so delicate. I'm using a craft brush to apply these mica powders directly to the mold. As you can see in video, I'm painting the flowers, leaves, and banners. Now it's time to prepare our resin. But first, I'm wearing my gloves. You need always use them when you're working with resin. This amazing casting resin is great because I love that it cures in minutes. This resin comes in part A and part B. You'll need to mix equal parts and pour your molds. I like to use a scale for no errors in our mix. With the same stick, we mix our resin and distribute the resin, making sure it goes all over the design. Once these parts A and B get together, you must work fast. This resin will be turning white, and that means they are ready to release from the molds. I use this light green from Golden Hour, this other green from Vintage Roses, this other pink, and these two from Pearls and Crystal collection. Now it's time to release the molds. And look at this, already painted. I found this process so easy and relaxing by painting directly your silicone molds with mica powders. It will take you a little of time, but the results are awesome. To clean your silicone mold, you can use a baby wipe or with running water. You can leave your decor molds like this, but I'm adding some extra by adding a black glaze. This one is filtered noir. And because it's really heavy, I'm using water to make it thinner. I'm using a brush in a pouncing motions to reach nooks and crevices, then using a baby wipe to remove all the excess glaze away, allowing the glaze to stick in the details and crevices of the mold. Now I will be adding two waxes. One is Polaris and the other is Celestial to add brilliance and a metallic sheen. And this process is so simple, I'm just using my fingers to apply them. Now we're almost done with this design. And I am using this middy transfer named the Enchant Roll, and this will be pairing with our decoupage paper. This middy transfer is 8.5 inches by 11 inches and it comes in 3 sheets. I will be cutting different patterns from the sheet to make my own design. These transfers are so easy to use. Just select your design, peel off the protective backing, place the middy transfer, and rub firmly with this included stick. Once I finish by applying the transfer, I'm using these polishing pads that will be varnish the edges. For our final touches, I'm adding to the decoupage paper a brown glaze, the same I used before for the other drawers. And finally, I'm attaching the molds using hot silicone to each of the stenciling drawers. And here's the final result. Let me know in comments what do you think about this DIY project. All products I use, I'm leaving them in description. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel today. See you in another flip.